Hello, everyone. I decided to research teacher feedback for effective learning in physical education for my poster and final presentation. I used the teacher feedback form to assess myself during one dance class period. The dance class is a physical education elective course that I teach at Bayside High School. The tool allows the teacher to categorize feedback types into corrective and positive feedback, as well as skill, management, or non-skill related feedback. The amount of time students' individual names were also used in the feedback as well as recorded. This assessment allows the teacher to reflect on their practice and find strengths as well as areas for improvement when it comes to students' learning outcomes and skill proficiency levels, especially in physical education. The purpose of utilizing this tool is so students can understand where they lie on the learning scale and how close or far they are to meeting the learning objectives. The teacher's purpose for evaluating themselves shows them what areas are in need of improvement and what strengths lie in their feedback styles and feedback types. After conducting the observation and recording the feedback using the teacher feedback form, I found that 46.2% was skill related, 39.5% was management related, and 14.3% was non-skill related. I also found that almost 60% of the feedback was corrective and about 40% of the feedback was positive. I didn't expect this to be the case because I have been working with this group of students for the whole year, and this lesson was mostly a review of skills we've gone over in the past. I think that my students were a bit nervous about being recorded, even though I assured them that this was only for my own reflection and my own practice purposes. What is not shown in the pie charts is that I favored giving small groups or the class as a whole feedback compared to individualized feedback. This feedback was majority corrective since I saw a lot of students making the same mistakes and errors. So I believe to improve my pedagogy, I need to get into closer proximity when giving small group feedback and individual feedback. Being closer to them and giving visual feedback like eye contact, a thumbs up, or clapping can also indicate a response from the student so they are aware of where they stand in the level of the skill. I also need to use students as individual names more often. Using praise terms like great job or nice work doesn't give the students the detail needed to know what exactly they're doing right or if I'm even talking to them specifically. I'm happy with the percentages between corrective and positive. However, I know that in a perfect world, it would be 50-50. I hope in the future I can lower the management feedback percentage and increase the skill feedback percentage. Since the dance class shares the gym space with another PE class, it can be difficult at times to remember where to go or how to move across the floor. The other class sometimes goes outside and we have the entire gym space, but other times they are inside and we must share the space that's available. So this is a consistent challenge since the amount of space is always different, dependent on weather and other factors. But in the future, I will use this forum more often to check in on my practice and my and teaching in different courses as well. As educators, we should constantly be reflecting on our teaching, and if necessary, we should need to adapt to our students and the environments that we're in. And it wouldn't be fair to our future students if we get too comfortable in our ways and the teaching strategies we use now, if our future students are not responding to pedagogical strategy that we've used in the past. The literature I researched shows that technology can be useful and very helpful in increasing student performance of skills, especially when the students are in control. Students using pedometers to count their steps, for example, is a great way to add a competitive aspect to any physical activity or game in physical education. Another theme in relation is student observation feedback. So there was a study that showed students who practiced independently without teacher feedback, but they were able to record and watch themselves completing the skill. This had similar learning effects as if they were given feedback verbally by an experienced physical education teacher. Self-control video feedback promotes self-efficacy, and students, especially at the high school level, should be leading their own learning path and getting ready to be physically active on their own in life. As physical educators, we must instill this idea in our students so that they can lead an active and healthy lifestyle once they leave our classes. Finally, I believe that the sandwich method is best when it comes to delivering feedback. This is the idea where the teacher gives a positive feedback followed by corrective feedback and then another positive feedback. This allows the student to feel confident in something while also listening to what they can improve on. As teachers, we don't want to discourage the students who are timid and maybe not as eager to participate for whatever reason. Teachers should be increasing student confidence levels so they aren't fearful of trying new things and new skills. And maybe they may find something they're skilled at and really enjoy participating in. The sandwich method is great because the student will remember that positive feedback along with the corrective feedback that goes right after it. This will allow the student to work on that correction so that eventually they will strive for only positive feedback and hopefully reach the goal of the skill they are working on. Thank you for listening to my presentation on teacher feedback and the implications it has on student learning.